New leadership at its 15th annual Congress last week. David Sipunzi is the new General Secretary. He joins us now. Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon.
For starters, let's start off with the theme of the Congress, back to basics, members first. Why members first? Were they not always first?
It seems as if at some point in time we had forgotten what we are there for as a union, where we expect to dish out instructions to members instead of members giving us orders. Now we realize that might be the reason some of the members have migrated from NUM.
Does that mean change in structure or merely change in the way that you work?
We'll have to change a lot of things, including the way we work.
AMCU, friend or foe?
Our enemy, our foe is the employer, not other workers.
So how are you going to relate with AMCU going forward, given what has happened in the past?
In fact, we may even have to enter into unity talks with AMCU, because NUM is the home for all mine workers. I want to believe people had to form AMCU because they were disillusioned. They were not given platform to air their views within the NUM.
And have you already perhaps opened the door for AMCU to have talks of this nature?
We'll very much appreciate to sit around the table with AMCU and have a talk of them coming back into the NUM.
Does it mean you're going to try to take a joint position when it comes to the upcoming negotiations?
Well, I can't guarantee that. That will be determined by negotiations, the progress in the negotiations, and the mandates that we get from our different constituencies.
The mining industry, it says that it's on the verge of going broke. Firstly, do you believe it?
We don't see that. We haven't heard of a single chief executive officer pledging to cut his or her salary or bonus. Nothing has changed in them. They are still raking in millions, as if his work is, nothing is threatening the sector.
So you would like to see a reduction in returns to management, but what about the shareholders?
We believe that the shareholders, after all, are getting even less than what management is getting. We would appreciate the shareholders to appreciate that workers are the creators of their wealth, and they have to share their wealth with these workers.
But now you get a lot of people who are saying that the demands you are making are unsustainable, and as a result it will be inevitable that there will be jobs lost. How are you going to try to prevent this?
We have been having job losses throughout, despite us accepting low increases. And therefore it doesn't threaten us that if we demand a mere 50% of 5,000 rand, that will lead to closure of mines. We are used to that language. It's not scaring us anymore.
Now what if a mine does close? What happens then?
Well, if a mine does close and is still mineable, I believe the government, the license, mining license, has to be returned to the government and the mine given to somebody else who's still willing to mine.
Moving on to another subject, administrative costs are really putting a big burden on workers, and we're wondering whether NUM is going to take a stand against some of the inefficiencies that are causing these administrative costs to be so high, and exactly what kind of stand will that be?
You're referring to administrative costs in what, in NUM or in?
No, costs imposed on the consumers such as electricity.
Well, that surprises us because every time we demand wages, we're told that we are the reason why the inflation rate is high. But for example, ESCOM has demanded an increase in tariffs of up to 26%. Nobody is saying anything about that. It worries us. I mean, the rise in administrative costs is worrying us very much.
What do you intend to do about it?
Well, as we're still new in the office, we'll sit down and see what programs we will have concerning such issues.
And now that you've taken office, let's go back to this idea of back to basics. What does that mean? What are you going to clean up, for starters?
Well, I think we need to create a platform for our members to be able to air their concerns.
Yeah.
That's point number one. Because many of our members have been dismissed due to differences in opinion, or expelled from the union due to differences in opinion. And we're also planning to invite those who have left to come back.
Now, what you raise is actually very interesting, because it shows that there's an element within the union that is possibly disruptive. Have you dealt with it? If not, how are you going to deal with it?
I don't want to believe that there's a disruptive element amongst members of the union. However, that true it may be, but members are always correct. Members are always right. Their being disruptive helps the union to be on its toes. Yes.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you very much.
David Sipunzi, newly elected General Secretary of the National Union of Mineworkers.